What's up, everybody? Welcome to Human Innovation Tarot. My name is Eddie with Imagine Life Development Center. And today I wanted to share a video with you guys that I recorded in a recent live tarot reading. And you're only going to see a segment of it. Obviously, I edited out some of the portions or parts of it that aren't relevant to the information that I want to share with you guys. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about spiritual leadership. I believe personally that spirituality is so much more than crystals and incense and doing yoga, the clothes that we wear, the decorations, and, you know, all of the typical kind of woo-woo things that, you know, spirituality is known for, astrology and tarot cards and all these kinds of things. You know, these are wonderful tools, you know, and of course, you know, there's nothing wrong with having being into a certain type of spiritual style or things like that, right? But true spirituality, in my opinion, is about the relationship that we have to ourselves and the way that we manage ourselves despite the physical reality that we live in, right? As the old saying goes, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's the understanding, our intimate understanding of who we are on an inside out type of level versus an outside in type of experience, right? And I feel like for a lot of people, or the challenge that we often experience in life is we're so outwardly focused because, you know, we're kind of raised to be that way. We're very in tune with our five physical senses where we're not as in tune with the forces that lie within us. And so in this video, I'm answering a question that was brought up in the tarot reading with this woman, and some profound things come through during the readings, and I have to often go back and watch those things for myself because I don't remember what I say, but I also know that these things, you know, apply to me, and I also know that they have the power and potential to apply to many other people. And so before I jump into the video, I wanted to just kind of briefly explain what I'm talking about, because if you just hop right into the video, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. You'd be like, what is this guy talking about? So I just wanted to kind of set the stage so that you guys knew what I was, you know, what I'm referring to once the video gets going, and then the rest of the video will make sense from there. So I made some notes when I was going back through the video to edit out the portion that we're all going to be watching here. And so true spirituality is stepping into the power of our soul or our spirit and alchemizing all things into gold, or what I like to call soul treasure. Then we share that treasure with others. Learning, growing, and applying the knowledge of the difficult forces that shape us is what true spirituality is all about. Spiritual leadership is the courage to not run or accept problems and powerlessness, but to transform them into our power. So that's what this video is about. So once we jump into the video, I'm essentially talking about spiritual leadership or spiritual alchemy, right? It's how do we take the difficult things that are happening to us in life and transform them and apply them into things that empower us versus allowing them to disempower us, right? There's so many times in life we go through difficult things and then we allow those difficult things to either keep us stuck, to define us, or to limit our capacity to move forward and tap into the limitless power that exists within us to create the lives and fulfillment that we desire. So here's the video. Because it doesn't matter what other people think about us or their perception of us, even if they're picking up on the good part of us. What matters is our awareness of who we are within ourselves, right? And believing that or knowing that's true for us without needing the approval or the acceptance or the acknowledgement of the forces that exist outside of us. However, there is the paradox of the fact that typically we come to understand those things about ourselves because of the feedback that we do receive outside of ourselves, because the external world serves as the mirror through which we look at and receive that reflection or that information back from. So the universe is here to tell you that, Nicolette, you're fucking different on purpose. You're fucking special. You're powerful. You're beautiful. You're profound. And that compassionate energy that you have, or that sympathetic or empathetic energy that you had, which in the past may have gotten you into some bad situations, because it typically does. People that are empaths, people that are spiritually empathetic, have a tendency to attract people that are manipulative, abusive, narcissistic, controlling, and all those things. And so we have a tendency to misunderstand our power based on the experiences that we have with what we attract because of our power. So we misunderstand our power because of the situations we attract as a result of having a gift or a power within us, which conversely is the very reason that we never step into that power or accept that power, because of those experiences. So you can see how it becomes this complex, convoluted mess, right? And so anyways, the message behind all of that, the core component of the message is, you're not crazy. You've never been crazy. That thing that I'm describing in my words, that you know is there within you. So again, forgive my limited capacity to articulate whatever that thing is within you. You may use different words to articulate or describe that part of you, but I have a feeling you understand what I mean. I have a feeling you understand what I'm talking about or referring to. That part of you is on purpose. And it's time for you to embrace that part of you, and it's time for you to embrace that part of you in a very empowering way, okay? And you've been suppressing it, you've been withholding it, or you've been questioning it in a way that's disempowering you. And so the most beautiful and empowering parts of you aren't being experienced by yourself, and they're not being experienced by others. And so that's leading you, or that's created an environment for you in your reality to have a very unfulfilling experience. And I'm not saying it's completely unfulfilling. You might find a way to find fulfillment in other areas of your life, but it's not fulfilling you at the deepest core part of you, because that's not what you incarnated here to experience. You incarnated here on this plane of existence with a gift for, that's part of it is for you and part of it is for others. That's how all of it works, right? And so you've suppressed that, or you've not acknowledged it, or you've handed it over and allowed it to be defined by other people who mistreated it or abused it or didn't see the value of it. And you depended upon those external forces to do so. And we all make that mistake. So, and I'm guilty of this myself. And it's not about guilt, okay? It's not, that's not the point. It's not about, it's just awareness, right? But it's important because you're at a point in your life, at a point of your soul's journey where you need to become aware of it in a more direct sense, which is why Spirit has this message for you. You came here, you said, okay, I'm handing the mic over, whatever Spirit wants to say. And well, what is Spirit saying to you? Well, Spirit is telling you the most important thing that Spirit could say to you. You think about all the things that God, source, the universe could tell you right now. This is the thing that it's telling you when it was, the first thing it's telling you, the thing that's being told to you when you handed it the microphone. That's pretty fucking profound if you think about it. It's not talking about money. It's not talking about finances. It's not talking about this, not talking about that. Think about all the things that it's not talking to you about right now. It's talking to you about this thing. So that means that this thing is the most important thing that you needed to know tonight, and perhaps the rest of the year, perhaps moving forward until until you've laid hold of it in the way that you need to within your experience to say, I get it, I got it, I've applied it, whatever that looks like for you, okay?
So there's the message, and I could micro dissect that, and I'm tempted to, but I'm trying to stay on task here with my speed reads. So let's take a quick look at what the cards are here to say. So the here and the now. This is where you need to be right now. You need to be in the here and the now within yourself. And if you look at this, there's this I don't know, like a girl or a fairy or something inside of this egg. She's kind of like, I don't know, looking outside of the top of this egg, but there's like a door or a window on the side, right? And so there's a lot of metaphorical symbology in this card, right? And so the message to you through this energy is for you to use your own intuition about what you see in this card. So you can go look this card up, or I don't know if you have this deck or if you don't have this deck, it doesn't matter. This card is from The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. It's card number 32. It's kind of hard to see that number. Card number 32. You can pull it up online. You can get an image of it, but you're meant to look at this card and research it yourself with your own intuition. That's part of the message. The other part of the message for you is the most important place for you to be right now in your spiritual journey is here within yourself. Because it's time for you, the message, the direct message I'm getting for you is it's time for you to draw a line in the sand with yourself and say, it's time to stop looking outside of yourself for satisfaction, for fulfillment, for acknowledgement, for attention, for validation, for getting your needs met, for all these things. You've come too far. You've grown too much. You've learned too much. You've evolved too much in your spiritual capacity. You know these things intellectually. It's time to start applying them experientially, blah, 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 if I can say that word. It's a time to start applying them in your life and having an experience with them, so you integrate them, so you get them out of your head and you move them inside of your soul, inside of your heart, inside of your being. And then as you integrate the knowledge into your being becomes your doing. It becomes your process, right? And that's the beauty of it. And as it becomes your process, it becomes your evolution. And as it becomes your evolution, it becomes your reality, your creation, your manifestation. Your life starts to mold itself around the evolution of who you are and what you're becoming. Holy shit. I just preached to myself. I'm going to have to rewind and re-listen to whatever the fuck that just came out of my mouth, because I just felt it for myself. It's like, Jesus, dude, that was for you. Like, I'm preaching to myself as this message is coming through to you. I can never say that again the same way twice. Anyways, Neverending Story. So this message is very clear. There's a part of you that needs to stop the crazy cycle. The crazy cycle that I'm feeling that you've been in for yourself is, again, you know this stuff. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. I know that I know that I know that I know this. I can feel it. I'm not here telling you anything you don't already know. The problem isn't that you don't already know these things. There's a fear about not applying them to your life. So you have to keep going around the mountain again and again and again and again. And the universe keeps handing you the same message. And you're going, yeah, I know that, but I know that. I understand that. Tell me something I don't know. And the universe is like, I'm not telling you something you don't know because you're not applying the things that I've been telling you. And so that's kind of the stigma. It's like the universe can't take you to, you can't graduate from first grade and go to second grade until you complete first grade. And then you can't go from second grade to third grade until you complete second grade. So it's like you're in this process where spirit is saying, hey, I need you to graduate from where you've been to where I want to move you. But you have to be willing to embrace the discomfort of the process. New levels, new devils. New levels, new fears. New levels, new obstacles. New levels, new struggles. But also new blessings, new opportunities, new fulfillment, right? So we all want the new. We all want to elevate. We all want to go and achieve the new things, have the new things, have the better, the more money, the better relationship, the better body, the whatever. But we don't understand that when you go to that new level, there's new responsibilities. There's a new level of thinking. There's new routines. There's, like the person who has the 6-pack abs and the ripped chiseled body 24/7, 365 a year, they don't drink wine anymore. They don't splurge and enjoy some things that people like us or like me that don't have that type of body enjoy. It's like, I like my fucking wine and I like my nachos. I'm drinking wine at night, So it's a trade-off. It's like, well, do I want the six pack or do I want to eat my nachos and drink my wine? Well, right now, I like my wine and I like to eat my nachos. So, that's a choice that I've made. And as long as we're willing to be honest with ourselves about where we are and where we're willing to go, the universe is okay with that. Just for everybody that's out there listening to what I'm saying, the universe is okay when we're honest with ourselves. If you're honest with the universe and say, hey, I know that I'm tolerating less than ideal circumstances in my life. I know that I'm staying at a job that I hate. I know that I'm staying in a toxic relationship that's bad for me. I know that I'm doing this. I know that I'm doing that. I know that I'm doing this. I know that I'm doing that, but I fucking like it. I enjoy it. I like it. I like the toxic relationship. I like my unfulfilling job that gives me certainty. I like this thing over here. I like that this is what it is and I like it. Okay, cool. That's all the universe wants, is for you to get honest and real with yourself and say, okay, well, cool. At least you're fucking honest. Great. That's awesome. You like the reality that you're in and existing in. Perfect. Because that's the only reality that you have, is the one that you're creating and living in. And as long as you're okay with the reality that you're experiencing, because that's the only reality you have, everyone's happy. The universe is happy and you're happy. The problem is when some part of you wants more and desires more, but you're standing in your own way of the getting of it. That's where the problems occur. And I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you believe. You and me, we are our own worst enemies. So any fulfillment that you lack, anything that you feel that you're missing out on, and I'm not just talking to Nicolette here, I'm talking generally, broad spectrum for a hot second here. I'm getting on my soapbox for 2 seconds here. You are your own worst enemy. You cannot blame your past. You can't blame your parents. You can't blame your exes. You can't blame your lovers. You can't blame your children. You can't blame anything. The only thing that you can blame for the life that you're not experiencing or the fulfillment that you don't have is yourself. You are your own worst enemy. You are standing in the way of your life, your hopes, your visions, your dreams, your desires, your goals. With that being said, it doesn't mean that we always intend to do so. Sometimes we just don't know any better. Sometimes we're just ignorant. Sometimes we don't have the knowledge of self-awareness or whatever to know what it is that we need to help us navigate to get to that next step, to go up the ladder, so to speak, right? And that's why people like me and other people out there, are placed into your path, so you can come across the knowledge that you desire because you put that intention out into the universe. You asked a question. You had a desire, you needed information, you needed an insight, you needed a guide, you needed a message, you needed a sign, you needed a synchronicity. The universe answered, and so here you are. This is your sign, right? And it's not just for Nicolette, it's for all of you. So you can thank her for providing you all with the additional insights that hopefully you're paying attention to. And I say this every time with you guys. And I say this in the most friendly and empowering way. I almost want to beg and plead with you guys that for me and this channel, I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for other readers. I can't speak for any of that. But here at this channel, as part of this tiny community, the messages that are here are not just about the questions of the person that are asking their question. And if you pay attention, I can guarantee you there's always something for every one of us. Like I'm the messenger, but I hear the things that are coming out of my mouth and I'm taking notes of those things in my mind, because what you guys don't know is when you come here with a question and I start getting into it and I have no idea what the answer is going to be. I have no idea what's going to come through me. All this shit starts coming through me, and God, source, the universe is tapping me on the shoulder going, hey, that's for you. That's for you. That's for you. That's for you. Hey, that's for you too. So you guys, when I come on here and I do this, I can never think to ask the questions that you guys ask. I can never think to come here with the problems that you guys have or whatever it is. And I leave these things. This is why I stay for 9 hours. I don't stay and do these readings for 9 hours and all this crazy just because I got nothing better to do. It's because I'm getting so much spiritual information and nuggets through the things that come through me for you that I would be an idiot. I would be retarded to not grab hold of all those spiritual nuggets that are worth more than any amount of money. Because if I apply them to my life, I can do anything. All things are possible for those who believe. All things are possible for those who believe what? That believe in the force that's moving and existing through me to allow me and afford me the opportunity and the power to create my own reality. And so I'm here just like you are. I just have a different role. You know, I'm here as the observer. I'm just like one of you guys in the chat, but I'm also here separating my consciousness into two parts. There's a part of me that's the channeler and the messages are just coming through me, and then there's the me that's the observer, right? And so if you guys can share that existence and that reality with me throughout these readings, I guarantee you'll grab hold of things that are beneficial for you as well. And then you won't have to go through this any more than Nicolette will. This never-ending story energy, right? Because we all have patterns. We all have things that we do that are more difficult than not. We struggle with things that we keep repeating again and again and again and again that keep us stuck and prevent our growth and our evolution, right? That's what that card is for. The beauty, collectively and individually for you, Nicolette, is this, the regeneration. When you get it, you got it. This is the beauty of regeneration. This is the death card and the tower kind of rolled into one. So you have the tower, which typically in tarot is the energy of destruction or death, right? Something that dies. But there's beauty in the ashes. Death is not death. Death is an illusion. You take a seed. Well, in the form of a seed, in the existence of the seed form, no matter what plant or thing it is, or an acorn, let's use an acorn because I'm thinking about my tree, my symbol behind me here, the oak tree inside of the acorn, right? The tree of life behind me here, which is my symbol, and up here on my hat. So we take an acorn. The acorn is a form. When that acorn goes into the ground, it dies. It's no longer an acorn. That's the only time that oak tree will ever be in that form. That's it. It's only an acorn once. The acorn dies. But then it rises from the ashes as the oak tree. It takes on the life of the new form. The same thing with the caterpillar into the cocoon, into the butterfly. You are in the period, Nicolette, of regeneration. And so really, this card is everything that I've just said for the collective. It's leaning into the understanding that you have the knowledge, you understand this, you just need to apply what you know in a way where you're willing to risk the unknown. So I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to say this for everybody. Okay? And I know I'm taking a little more time for her because there's a collective message in this. That's why I'm taking this extra time with her reading. It's not because I'm taking time necessarily for her reading, it's for all of us. There's a collective message in her question, which is why I said you can thank her, because it applies to all of us. The amount of fulfillment that is possible for any one of you out there is directly in proportion to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably tolerate. So let me say that again. The amount of fulfillment that you get to experience in your life depends on the amount, or depends on your level of tolerance for uncertainty. How, what is your level of tolerance for uncertainty? Where's that threshold for you? That's what the spiritual journey is all about. It's about not just what you learn spiritually, it's about integrating it into who you are and then jumping out and taking a risk, stepping outside of your comfort zone with it. Expressing yourself, starting a spiritual business, talking about spiritual things, just being unapologetically who you are, getting out of your shitty 9-to-5 job that you're depressed and going and doing that thing that the Spirit's laid on your heart for the last 10 years. You've just been too afraid to start it. I don't know enough. I don't have enough. I don't have the resources. What if it fails? What if nobody wants it? What if it's not? It's like, what if, right? And again, whatever area in your life that this applies to, not just that. It could apply to any part of your life. So that's what this regeneration card is. You cannot take on a new form until you're willing to take on a new risk. You cannot take on a new form until you are willing to take on a new risk. What is the risk? Holy fucking shit. The risk is the risk of being unapologetically your spiritual true self. So Nicolette, you've been asking this. This is at the bottom of the deck. So now I'm going back to Nicolette. The rest of you get to listen in. Pay attention, because there might be more here for you. Nicolette, you've been asking why. You've been searching, asking questions, trying to understand, and that's why you're here. That's why you handed the microphone over to Spirit tonight. Because there's questions that you have that you feel have not been answered. Part of your life has been a mystery. Part of your life hasn't made sense. There's lots of questions that you've had in your own right. You know what those things are. The reason you've been asking questions is because you've been going round and round and round and round. Because of all the never-ending story, right? It's right there. But when you risk being yourself to take on a new form, you have to assume new risk. Well, as you take on the new form, because you assumed the new risk, there's your 10 of cups, there's your 10 of pentacles. Everything that you want. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Living life in bliss and fulfillment, euphoria, and living life on your terms, living life at cloud 9. It's not to say that you're never going to have a problem again. You're never going to have a struggle again. It's not to say that you're going to avoid pain the rest of your life. You're going to avoid hurdles, obstacles, and challenges. That's bullshit. That's unrealistic. It means that no matter what happens to you, doesn't matter if you wake up tomorrow with a stage 4 cancer diagnosis, you're going to dance your fucking ass out of bed. You're going to rejoice. You're going to sing. You're going to dance. You're going to laugh. You're going to be like, I don't give a fuck what happens to me anymore in my life. My life is measured by this. I measure my life now. I live my life based on the measurement of the fulfillment that I experience as a result of staying true to my fucking self. Come on, guys, man. If you guys are not getting excited about this shit, man, like, this is blowing my mind. Like, it's giving me tears because this is speaking to me on so many levels. I'm getting chills here, man. Like, this is the shit, man. This is the life-changing shit that we need to hear. I need to hear this. We need to hear this. Sorry, I shouldn't inject myself into the reading, but I couldn't help myself. I'm just... Fulfillment is yours. Okay? Fulfillment is yours, Nicolette. It's not the knowledge anymore. Let me end this for you. All right, so this to summarize your reading, to summarize your message for you. You know the stuff. You know all of this. There's nothing that I've shared with you that you have not heard or you do not know in some way, shape, or form. I may have said it differently. I may have described it using new words, new phrases, new terms. I may have shed or projected light or shed light on it from a different angle, slightly different angle. But at the core of it all, I have not told you anything you don't already know. What you need to know is that you've been dying. Your spirit has been dying to become something new. You have been the caterpillar stuck inside of the cocoon for far too long. Your spirit is ready to come out of the cocoon. The butterfly is ready to arise. The phoenix is ready to come out of the ashes. You've been afraid. You got comfortable inside the cocoon, Nicolette. You got comfortable inside the cocoon, and the Spirit's saying, Come on, girl. I believe in you. I believe in you. Your spirit inside of you is telling you, I believe in you. Come on, you can do this. Open up the tent, break through the cocoon, come out of your shell, come out of the closet, right? Like, step into your power, embrace this new form. And it's scary. It's a new form. You've never been in this form before. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what to expect. It's scary. There's an element of it that's a little bit frightening. All growth that is real, that is true and beneficial for anyone is frightening. Because you've never been there before. You've never done it before. You haven't had that experience before. But that's how we grow. That's how we evolve. And that's how humanity will grow and evolve, is because of people like fucking you who show what it's like to be courageous and step out and become a spiritual leader because you did something that most people are afraid to do. And you showed them that it's safe and okay to do it. And that's what you've been looking for. You've been looking for a reason to be you. You've been looking for an example, a leader to look at and say, is it safe and okay for me to step out and to become this? And the universe is coming back at you and saying, no, babe, you are the leader that you have been looking for and waiting on to give yourself permission to come out. Because when you come out of the closet, you're going to lead so many other people out of the closet as a result of your courageous act. Because you had a call on your life to be a leader in a way that you didn't even understand what leadership was. It's not what we think that it is because of capitalism and, what's it called? Overachiever culture and all that bullshit. CEO culture and all that shit, right? Like hustle and grind culture and all that shit. None of that shit. The amount of money you make in your bank account and all that other shit, your titles, your education and your certifications and all that bullshit, none of that has anything to do with being a leader. Being a leader is how we inspire and motivate ourselves to do very difficult things. And as we inspire ourselves to do hard and difficult things, people that are watching us do those hard and difficult things get inspired to do hard and difficult things for themselves. That's it. That's all a leader is. A leader is somebody who inspires other people to follow in their footsteps when they didn't even intend to. Right? That's it. True leaders don't have to convince people to follow them. Did Jesus Christ of Nazareth have to convince people to follow him? No. What did he do? He went out. He healed the sick. He raised the dead. He gave sight to the blind. He just did his thing. He gave his message and he went about his way. He didn't say, hey, I'm looking for a following. Come follow me. Believe me. Jesus of Nazareth didn't start a cult. Whether you believe in Jesus or follow that or it doesn't matter. I'm just using an example. Jesus didn't start a cult. That was not his intention. He went out and did what he did. He stayed true to himself. The result of him being true to himself created the following. That's the calling that's on your life, Nicolette. You have a calling of leadership on your life, whether you realize it or not. It may not be the type of leadership that you or we recognize or understand in the modern world. It is a spiritual calling that you have on your life. And as you embrace that spiritual calling, you're going to find your spiritual fulfillment. And understand that spiritual leadership is more about you inspiring and motivating yourself to do things that you didn't think you could do, with the help of Spirit as your guide. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. All the other information is in the description box below. And as always, my friends,
I'm not a bloody psychic.